Week is National News Literacy Week, and joining us this morning to talk about ways you can make sure your news is reliable is Jasmine Labasso from the Kern County Library. Jasmine, thank you for being here.
Good morning.
All right, we are continually looking for ways to, of course, monitor ourselves, but when it comes to viewers, what should they consider when it comes to the source of their news?
I think what's really most important is to start using your critical thinking skills when you're identifying accurate information from misinformation. You need to ask yourself, where is this article coming from? Is there any sort of heated headline that might be leading you into a certain direction? A lot of times, if something seems too good to be true, it probably is. So you want to start looking at who is writing this article, where is it coming from? Can you cross-check this with another mainstream news media? A lot of times if something is too good to be true, it is too good to be true. So you really have to use those critical thinking skills to get started and to investigate, see if you can identify the actual sources, where this news is coming from, and whether or not there's any sort of firsthand sources, legal filings, direct quotes, press releases. You really want to dig in to identify misinformation and accurate information separately from one another.
Sometimes things get shared so quickly and so often that misinformation could get blown up very, very quickly. Is there an easier way for someone to sort of maybe identify a source's bias? Because sometimes it's not blatant.
So yeah, actually, there is a lot of fact-checking websites out there, such as Snopes or Politico or Fact Check. I'm sorry, not Politico, PolitiFact. And those three different ones are major fact-checking websites. One of the wonderful things about those websites is that they actually tend to put the sources at the bottom of the page, so you can actually see where they're getting this information from. Now, if you're still confused or you don't feel like you trust those websites, you can always reach out to a library. Librarians are the original information professionals, and so that is literally what we are trained in, is to identify misinformation from correct information. So we're always willing to help. And on top of that, we have a whole bunch of resources that can connect you with correct information. For instance, with your library card, you have access to the New York Times. You also have access to a whole bunch of databases that include peer-reviewed articles and correct information. So we encourage people to reach out, and if they need any help discerning something, we are here to help.
It's funny that you say it like that, because in this time where all this information can be quickly gotten from your phone or a laptop, I think people forget the amount of resources that libraries offer.
Absolutely. Historically, that's what we're here for. That's why libraries were created, is so people could get accurate information. And the internet is a wonderful thing. It makes all that information at your fingertips, but it also means that noise can get in the way, and there's a lot of misinformation that very easily spreads. That's a powerful tool in either direction. And so we want to make sure that we are connecting people with correct information. If you ever have any sort of discomfort with information, search further. There's probably a reason you have discomfort, and you really want to figure out where that information is coming from. Ask people, look at where it's coming from, who's writing it. Is there any sort of heated language? If it's divisive, there might be a reason it's divisive.
Very good. Jasmine Labasso, we appreciate your time this morning and your insight. Thank you.
Of course.